So let's do some practice problems on Khan Academy exercises that make us rewrite an addition problem so that we can get them to rounder numbers, numbers that might be multiples of 10 or multiples of 100. So let's see here. I have 63 plus 427, and that seems kind of hairy. You know, it feels like I want to write those things down, but maybe I could take away from one of them and give it to the other one so that they both become round numbers. And it's clear that 63, if I were to give 3 away, I would get to 60. And if I were to give those 3 to 427, it would get to 430. And 60 plus 430 is a much simpler problem. So let's think about what this question is saying. Well, it's just taking a step by step through that process. It's just saying 63 plus 427 is going to be equal to 60 plus what plus 427. So the 60 plus what, this is going to be the same thing as 63 because we have 427 both places. So 63 is 60 plus 3. Well, that makes sense. Now this next step, they just change the order. 60 plus 3 and then adding 427 is the same thing as doing 60 plus and then adding the 3 to the 427 first. So we're just taking this 3 and moving it from the 63 to the 427. Well, 3 plus 427, that's just 430. And now this addition problem became a lot simpler. 60 plus 430, we could do that in our head. We're just adding 6 tens to this right over here. So it's going to be 400, 490. And we're done. Let's do a couple more examples of this. So over here, we want to add these two numbers, and let's maybe see if we can make them a little bit a rounder number. So over here, we're breaking up the 275 into 270 and something. Well, that's going to be 270 plus 5. Notice the rest is still the same, plus 595, plus 595. Now, why are we doing that? Well, if we take 5 from 275 and give it to 595, which is what we're doing here, the 595 can get to 600. It's going to make the calculation easier. So once again, here we're adding the 270 and the 5 first, and then we're adding the 595. But we could change the order in which we do it. We could add the 5 to the 595 first, and then add the 270. So this is the same thing as 270 plus 5 plus 595 is 600. That's the whole reason why we took 5 from the 275, is so that we can add it to the 595 and get 600. And now we can do this in our head. 270 plus 600s, well, we're just going to increase our hundreds by 6. So it's going to be 870. Let's do a couple more examples here. Fill in the blank. 51 plus 83 is the same thing as blank plus 84. Well, they increased 83 by 1 to 84, so we got to decrease 51 by 1. So this is going to be the same thing as 50 plus 84. Now, why would anyone care about this? Why would they do that? Well, I find this easier to calculate because now I just have to say 8 tens plus 4 ones plus another 5 tens. Well, that's going to be 13 tens and 4 ones, or 134. So I find this a little bit easier. But the important thing is if we add to one number, we got to take away the same amount from the other number in order to not change the value of this addition problem, of this expression. Let's do one more. 138 plus 710 is the same as blank plus 700. So we had 710 and it's now 700. So we took 10 away from that number. So we have to give it to the other number. So 138, we have to add 10 to that. So that's going to be 148. Now, why was that useful? Well, 148 plus 700, you can do that in your head. That's going to be 848, and that's easier to compute than what we just had over here.